But last night, as Frank Underwood would say, number one, Cruz won. He fought hard. He dug his heels in. With the help of the establishment, he won. So I believe what the Trump campaign needs to do now is take a real good hard look on how they can address the population as we move forward. But I still believe he's going to get to 1237 and become president.
Jenny, I know you're not a fan of Donald Trump's. Ted Cruz, though, last night saying that there was a turning point in the election. He's got to say it. I know it's locker room talk, but you think there's more to it than that?
Well, I think last night certainly is a turning point in the election. Ted Cruz is.
But could it all sort of fade away over the next couple of weeks with all of these Northeast contests that heavily favor Donald Trump?
I don't think that it's going to fade away over the next few weeks. Now Ted Cruz is moving it here into New York, and he's campaigning, and he's doing the hard kind of campaigning that traditionally has been done, which is different than the kind of campaigning that Donald Trump is doing with the big rallies. They obviously, both styles are working for the candidates. But he's getting in, he's giving speeches, he's talking to people and letting people in New York get to know him. There are 13 congressional districts here where 25% or less of the registered voters are Republican voters. And in the places where it's a closed primary and the number of people who have to be targeted is small, Cruz has the opportunity.
Well, we know about Cruz's ground game, and you talked about New York getting to know him. I think, Caitlin, New York thinks they do know him. If you look at the cover of the New York Daily News, this is the guy that talked about New York values in such in such a negative way that is going to cast a dark shadow of him. How does he outrun that shadow?
Well, I was actually with Ted Cruz earlier today in the Bronx, of all places, where he was campaigning, again, really targeting congressional districts, hoping to prevent Donald Trump from getting that magic number. And he said, he's phrasing it now as, pointing to people like Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, and talking about New York values attributed to liberal politicians. But he was met with many protesters there today.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
He got the real school Bronx cheer, huh?
Exactly. So he is making his way through the state, but he's not relenting necessarily on that remark. And it could bite him with maybe some more moderate Republicans. I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump plays that up more this
Well, of course he will. I mean, you don't have a lot of very conservative, evangelical Tea Partiers in New York, but we'll see. Upstate might be in play. This could be a big place. I think New York could make or break this thing in terms of the convention, guys. All right, we'll be right back. But also, when we do, Ted Cruz is now actually being accused of being used by the establishment.